Hello, Dr. Shailendra. Welcome to the Health Site.
Hello, thank you.
So, Doctor, I would like to ask you what are some barriers to quality eye care?
Whenever we talk about barriers, we have to think in at least in two ways. One is the barriers which are there from the patient side or the user side, and the others are the barriers which are there from the provider side. So the lack of awareness is sometimes there even in educated and well-to-do people. So that is one of the barriers, and this is one of the major, let's say, the reason of celebrating this World Sight Day, to basically make people aware of the eye problems and eye issues and regular eye checkup. Other barriers from the patient side or the obvious ones that are affordability, whether they're close to a facility which is good or not. And from us, the provider side, it is basically what is happening is that most of the providers, whether they are the organizations or the ophthalmologists, they are basically concentrated in some of the big cities, whereas the population in India is more outside the city. So that mismatch actually creates a lot of barriers because people have to travel a lot to get actually access to good quality eye care. So that remains one of the major barrier in the lack of the numbers of manpower available, which is trained, whether it is the ophthalmologist or the optometrists, paramedics. And second is their distribution is very lopsided. So I think these are the two problems that people generally face.
Doctor, talking about some common eye problems in India. So, what are the common eye problems?
Again, I think we have to look at the eye problem again in two ways. One would be some of them are actually the sight-threatening problem, right? So those eye problems which actually cause loss of vision if not treated. And the others sometimes may not be sight-threatening, but they would be something which cause a lot of discomfort. And you are not comfortable with the way you're living. So if I talk about the sight-threatening one, which causes the blindness or the people getting visually impaired, the commonest still in India would be cataract. And then the uncorrected refractive error, that is a simple condition where you have a power in your eyes, but somehow you're not got the right glass, the spectacles to treat them with. So these are two commonest problems, and something which came up in the recent national survey also was conditions which are happening in the front portion of the eye, which is cornea. And now that we look at the let's say sight-threatening, but problem that actually cause a lot of discomfort is the dryness which happens in the eye because of these various pollutants that are there in the environment, or the screen time that is happening throughout the country, in fact. And so these are the things like allergies coming out of that, the common allergies in the eye. They cause a lot of discomfort in the eye. May not be sight-threatening, but they do affect the quality of life.
Alright, Doctor, talking about eye drops. We see a lot of people, जब भी आंखों में कुछ होता है, any redness in the eyes or any swelling in the eyes or any problem we face, so we go to the medical shop and we ask for the easiest drop available. So, is it good? Is it safe to use eye drops randomly?
I would strongly advocate against it. I mean, there are qualified practitioners to prescribe you eye drops, and some of the drops are generally given basically like placebos, where they do not have any effect. While if you are even less fortunate, you could be given something which can actually be harmful to the eye. So I would say eye drops should be taken only after a prescription, whether it's a simple eye drop. Once the doctor has prescribed and they have told you that this can be continued for, let's say, 6 months without a side effect, then you can definitely go back and buy it from the optician for maybe next 6 months. But I would say when you're starting a new eye drop, it's always better to get a good diagnosis. Whether you do require an eye drop, we have seen people who are actually having just simple refractive error where they need glasses, and because they're having strain because of that, they just keep on putting eye drops. So it is not going to help you in any way. Similarly, people putting eye drops for cataract, thinking that it will delay and making that cataract progress so much, making the surgery complicated and their life also more difficult. it doesn't make much sense. So I would strongly advocate against.
So, Doctor, my last question would be one message that you want to give on World Sight Day.
I think again, I would like to say the same thing again, that be clear that eyes are actually you actually see because of eyes, you move around because of eyes, you don't realize their importance till you're actually stuck without vision. And so this is something that you should not wait till the vision to drop. And we should get, if we have kids with us, we should get our kids tested at least once a year. If we have our parents with us who are elderly, we should get them tested at least once a year, even without the symptoms. And once somebody has advised surgery, we should go in for a surgery, because the commonest problem, like we talked about, is cataract, which has a very simple solution. And just delaying that can cause multiple issues. So I think follow the doctor's advice and try to make sure that you get your eye tested and treat them well.
All right, Doctor, thank you so much for joining in today and talking and discussing about such major questions about eyesight and what we can do for a better vision. Thank you so much for joining us on the Health Site. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.